Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches and are the top-selling childcare business book authors of all time. This episode is sponsored by Childcare Genius Marketing. Let Childcare Genius Marketing help you get fully enrolled and fully staffed. Visit childcaregenius.com for more details. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast our hosts, Brian and Carol Dupre.
Hello and welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast.
We're your hosts, Brian and Carol Dupre.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We've got a great guest lined up. But before we get started, I wanted to share with you that tickets are now on sale for our Childcare Genius Leverage Financial Conference, which is going to be in Riviera Maya, Mexico at the end of September, September 29th, October 2nd. And we're so excited to be at the Iberostar Parisio. And this resort is amazing.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's huge. It's bigger than the one we go in Jamaica. It's fantastic. The adults only section is
We have
gorgeous.
a beautiful conference space.
Oh, yes. Great. We're only selling 100 tickets to this event. You know, outside, they're from the general public. Our university students are attending for free, but we're only going to sell 100 tickets to the general public. First come, first serve. We sell out. We can only fit 250 people in our ballroom, so we will sell this out for sure. This is an owners only conference. We'd love you to come. And tickets are $5.99 for one and $9.99 for two. So you could save money by buying the second ticket. And we want you to come.
Yes, we do. Let's get Tanya on the line. Hi, Tanya. Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast. How are you today?
I'm well. Hi, how are you, Jim? I'm doing great. A little on the nervous side. I'm so excited to be a part of the podcast and really excited to be with the both of you, Brian and Carol. So thank you for having me.
Well, it's such a pleasure to have you. Carol and I came down. You as one of our top level clients, we got to visit your schools down in Florida. And of course, any excuse for us to get out of Maine in the winter and go visit Florida is always welcome. So thank you for getting us out of Maine. And you got 2 nice schools and we love that. And I said, we got to get Tanya on the podcast. Last time we saw you, which was just, a few months ago, I said, we got to get you on. So I'm glad we have you on, but, we know all about you. We know the story. It's a pretty unique story, but the audience doesn't know. So can you tell our audience a little bit about you, what you did before you got into the childcare business?
Sure. I too was so excited when you and Carol had the chance to come down to South Florida. And I remember telling the two of you, it's so surreal to see you in the building, just because I'm so used to seeing you on the screen or at a conference. So so excited that the two of you had a chance to come down. But yes, the story kind of is very interesting because it took a circle, but usually isn't that always the path for us to follow our passions? And then our passions is so awesome how it can become monetized and become a way of producing income and so on. So after college, actually a little bit before college, very interestingly, in high school, I had the opportunity at that time, licensing wasn't so restrictive in South Florida. So I had the most awesome opportunity to work at a preschool after school at the age of 16. So I worked for a woman that owned a preschool. So from 16 to 18, really developed a great relationship with her and the staff there. And it was really a mentorship relationship. So she always encouraged me to look into preschool, owning a preschool, running a preschool, becoming a director. She would, and maybe I might be divulging a little too much information, but she would, at the after school, when I would get there, she would hand me a phone and her keys. The keys to the front desk or the front door and say, I'm going to the mall, you know what to do, run it. If there's an emergency, you'll call me. And it really gave me the opportunity to learn the ins and outs of managing a preschool at the age of, by then I was about 18 years old. So that was an awesome opportunity. After graduating high school, I went on to university and to college, always with preschool in the back of my mind, thinking, I think I should do that. But no, I think I'll go to school and get a bunch of student loans and debt that I probably am not going to use, degrees that I may or may not use. Isn't that everyone's story? So I went on to study social psychology. I have a bachelor's in social psychology and did a little bit of nonprofit work. I have a master's in nonprofit management. And after graduating grad school, I ran a nonprofit at my church and realized, okay, that's it. I handed those degrees over to my parents, made you proud. I'm going back to my first love. I'm going to preschool. So wow. That's how that ended up happening. In terms of preschool, again, such a great opportunity. At this point in life, the church that I grew up in, they had just finishing building a second building that was what they called the educational building. So that's what they used for Sunday schools, for adult education, if they ran conferences and student education during the week or during Sundays on the weekends. But during the week, it sat empty. And so the pastor of the church shared with me, hey, we know that you have dibbled and dabbled in preschool. You ran a preschool or you assisted in running a preschool in high school. How would you feel about partnering with the church, reduction in rent to offer quality childcare in this area? So I was nervous, but excited at the opportunity and thought, yes, I'll jump in and do this. So had the opportunity with a reduction in rent to start a childcare center in Pompano Beach, Florida. And it kind of evolved from there. And that started in 2012. And then fast forward in 2023, we opened our second location, we being myself and my parents. We opened our second location in Hollywood, Florida.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, great story. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell us about your schools and why they're unique.
I'm so glad you asked, Carol, because it's really one of the things that I think expresses not just the communities that we're in, the unique feature of both schools, and it kind of evolved with both schools. I think it's also unique to South Florida is the opportunity of early childhood education and exploring culture and language. So both centers, they're trilingual schools. Not only there's all lessons are presented in English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. I am a second generation Haitian American. My mother was born in New York, but went to school in Haiti until the age of 12. And my father was born and raised in Haiti and came to the United States when he was 17 for college. But the congregation that I grew up in is a predominantly Haitian congregation. And now it's been interesting to see that second generation of Haitian Americans having students or raising their kids, and they're now enrolled in the preschool, and the community at large that we're in, there's a large Latin community. So it's been beautiful to see the blend of language. When you come to the school, you'll hear Latin kids speaking Creole, "Chitala, sit down here." And you'll hear kids that are from Haiti speaking Spanish. Maestra, donde mi mochila? But it's just beautiful to see how children share language and share culture, and all the while both communities are also learning English and learning early childhood preparations for kindergarten and so on in English. So that's been interesting to see that wasn't the case only in Pompano, but we're noticing the same trend happening in Hollywood. So it definitely is a South Florida thing.
Yeah, neat how you found a need in the marketplace and you adapted to the need in the marketplace. And based on your experience too, I mean, it was just, it's neat to see it all come together the way it has. So what are some obstacles you face when trying to grow your business? Because we all have struggles. What were some of your struggles?
Sure. One of the biggest obstacles that I didn't expect when expanding was the need to build a strong a strong management team and to connect with that team, to convey vision, to convey and review systems. All of that, I think, was the biggest challenge. And to my surprise, all of that starts and ends with me. I thought before joining Child Care Genius that it was them. I have to teach them. I have to get them on board with the vision. I have to encourage them. They need to be focused. They need to remember the mission and vision. And all the while not realizing it was me. I need to be ready. I need to, so on. So that has been the biggest challenge and also the biggest eye opener for me in this process.
Wow, interesting. I love that.
I do.
Yeah.
Can you tell our audience why you decided to join the Child Care Genius University coaching program?
Absolutely. And I think, honestly, that piggybacks off of the question, Brian, that you just asked. In my very first conference, and just a little bit of history, the way that I found Child Care Genius, it was a day that I was just exhausted. I walked into the office. I mean, I don't remember how many fires happened that day. Vans that broke down with kids in the middle of the road, people not coming into work, being pulled in so many directions. It is now probably towards the end of the week. I have not even confirmed who has or not paid tuition. So we all know that feeling alone. It was just overwhelming. So I remember going into my office, closing the door, putting that sign, "Don't disturb." Not a good idea to bother me right now. Closing and locking that door and just sitting down and just saying, going back to my faith, Lord, I'm tired. I don't know what else to do. And I remember kind of just sitting in that for a little while and then realizing, okay, time is wasting. We got to keep going. And as I started going, I thought, okay, turn on the lights back on. Let's get back to work. I thought, hey, look for a podcast. Just go into Apple Podcasts, see what comes up on childcare. And this was the very first time I ever thought about, hey, I'm sure there's a childcare podcast, childcare management podcast, not just something about hair, nails, and how to, all those other things that I was listening to at the time. Again, not building myself as a leader. So I typed in childcare management, and the Childcare Genius podcast came on. And I clicked on it and listened to it. You and Brian you were interviewing a member by the name of Jennifer. And that entire interview was everything that I needed. So as I'm sitting there working, I then stopped working to listen to this podcast that just built me up. And the next day, I remember coming into work and thinking, okay, I'm going back and listening to all the other podcasts that this company or this organization has. And then from there, it started a rabbit trail. So whenever I had those overwhelming days, I would go directly to the podcast. And then challenged myself. Maybe it was about 6 months later, challenged myself to really, during those podcasts, there was advertisement about the conference that had been coming up. And I said, okay, I have to put this on the calendar no matter what. And I was one of those owners that I can't leave, because the moment I leave, something is going to happen that I will be too far to fix. That's what I said. I will be too far to fix it. And I challenged myself and said, no, I have to get there. But that was really my first introduction to Child Care Genius. And yeah, it's been amazing since.
Well, there's a big lesson there, and that is you came to the conference despite, you could have used it as an excuse, but you didn't. And there's people listening right now that, could come to one of our conferences, but are using what you just said is to hold you back. And your definite message to them is it's worth to go in, and your center will be fine.
Yes.
If something happened to you, you're in hospital for a week, they would figure it out, right? Guess what? They will figure it out.
They would.
And until it's a catch-22. You've got to go to the conference to figure out how to get away from the business owning you. So you've got to take that first step and break that cycle of the catch-22. And I'm glad you were able to do that.
Absolutely. I'm glad I
So
did as well.
where do you see your business in the future, Tanya? What are some of your long-term goals?
Really, I think that where I see myself or the business in the future is really the opportunity to grow the abilities and management of the confidence in managing of my management team. Something that I didn't touch on, Carol, in the last question that you asked was this past year of membership. So April is going to be a year of my membership. So woohoo! But I'm just realizing it has taken a full year of mindset challenging, of my one-on-ones with you, Brian, where I have not even had the opportunity yet to connect with Joy, to connect with Michael, to connect with Kim, because it's just been mindset for me in really learning how to discipline myself, learning how to discipline my emotions as they relate to the business, feeding my mind as a leader, all of those points I have been challenged by and have grown, but it's taken a year. And I always thought I'm going to learn how to fix them, my staff, not realizing it took a full year to really work on myself. And now I'm at the point where now I'm excited to connect with some of the other coaches and see where really building up the management team will bring the business.
And thank you for bringing that up. I love that. And it does. That's why it's, a year-long coaching program
Yes.
initially, because, when you have 20 years of bad habits and 20 years of self-esteem issues and getting to the teenage years, I mean, your life sometimes gives you lemons. And I've got all that I've got to work in the first year with clients, and all of our coaches do. And sometimes we have to work past through the mud to get through the good thing. And mindset takes time. And see, in that year you were growing, and it's sort of like when you plant seeds, you don't know they're growing until they pop out, but they are growing. If you were to dig them up, you'd see they were growing. And I saw the seeds sprouting in you before you saw them in yourself. And when problems did happen, because, when you're part of our coaching program, problems don't just stop, they still happen. But how you deal with the problems was completely different in month 8 than it was in month 1.
Absolutely.
And you saw it yourself. Even recently, we dealt with some issues. You saw how calm you are now compared to the basket case you might have been early on.
Yeah.
And it's such a huge welcome difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just even feels more settling now. Before, I always felt like I was on edge. I always felt like I was on fight or flight, ready for what's next. Ready. From the moment I would pull up to the center, I was ready. Getting out of that car, drinking the coffee first, just ready. But now, waking up earlier, spending time feeding my mind, all of those are nuggets that I've learned from you and Carol, preparing myself mentally, preparing myself, challenging myself to finish that workout before having that coffee, before getting to the school, all of those things that build me up so that I can be a better and stronger leader and enjoy leadership, enjoy the process again, because now I think I've transitioned to enjoying it. So yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which Child Care Genius conference is your favorite?
Oh, that's so hard. So both are my favorite for different reasons. Number one, my very first, Las Vegas, it was the first time I've ever been to Vegas. So that alone was a wowzer for me. I finally have gone to Vegas, bucket list, check. So my first conference was Vegas 2024. Since that was my first meeting in my a lot of tears, a lot of encouragement, not only from the two of you, but your amazing team. A lot of encouragement with Cindy, with Miss Monica, with Michael, Joy, Miss Alyssa. It was one of those moments where I just thought, wow, I found a tribe. I'm not alone. So, I just did so much crying at that event because it was so emotional to meet people that understood. I had been doing this for last 2014 was 12 years. And so that entire 12 years, it was just me. No one understood, what I was facing or going through. So to meet folks that understood it, were able to finish sentences for me, were presenting on a level that just had me sitting there crying. It was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable experience. So for that reason, my very first conference, Vegas 2024, will always hold a special place in my heart. Jamaica 2024 as well was amazing. Just to be in Jamaica, to see you and Brian and Carol, to see the two of you in Jamaica and your Jamaican mode, your island mode. The teaching was amazing. It was a wonderful conference. And it was also just nice to be on vacation and to be learning and to be growing. And for the very first time, I wasn't afraid of what was happening at the center. So that's when I realized, maybe you're growing, Tanya. We're not checking on the center. We're not looking at the cameras. Maybe something is happening here. So that was a wonderful experience. So I think those two will always hold a special place in my heart.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. So what are your secrets? You're not married, so you don't have to split the money with anybody. That's kind of a huge advantage, right?
Mentioning that.
Yeah. Okay, single guys, just saying. But anyway, some of your secrets to working in business when you don't have somebody to bounce ideas off and to share. Yeah. What's your secrets to that?
So I can't say they're secrets because I learned them from you. Number one, I had to learn to give myself grace. I was way too hard on myself, realizing that everything is on you. So we're going to pace ourselves. We're going to give ourselves grace, and we're going to focus on building ourselves up. So those are all points that I've, learned from you throughout this year. So that was number one for me. That was the biggest takeaway. Secondly, now that I'm at this point, it's very interesting that, when the student is ready, the teacher comes. So stronger leadership has been coming and applying and have been promoted. And it's wonderful to be able to delegate and delegate with confidence that, hey, they'll get it, they'll learn it, and you can be patient. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be everything that you needed to be right away, but we're getting there. So I would say that is point number two, the having confidence in delegating. And I would say number three would really be, there's no, I was really hard on myself in thinking there's a finish line. If this, then this. If I could just get to this, then this. And there's no finish line. This, we may be here today and we may need to revisit it again tomorrow, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that progress isn't being made. So I would say those are the biggest three.
I love that. Such good answers.
Thank you.
If you had it all to do all over again, what would you do differently?
I would have joined Child Care Genius when I opened. In 2012, I would be on school number 11, probably, with confidence. Yeah, we want 11. We'll buy it. Let's do it.
That's so funny.
I really think, but even beyond just owning schools and so on, I think I would be a stronger leader. That confidence in leadership, just the grace that the two of you carry in the way that you lead. And it doesn't just come from you, but it was one of the things that I saw mainly in Jamaica this year. Because of a couple of different reasons in your staff and your team's approach to you, their concern for you, all of that is obviously the strength of a leader, because I know what the two of you mean to me and what you've done in my own growth, in my own mental capital. But to see your other folks like, oh, he means the same to you? Okay. Oh, she means the same to you? Okay. It's just wonderful to see. And that's the strength of leadership. And I'm not just saying it to say it. It really is a grace. And I think that I would be walking in that grace a little differently had I met the two of you 12 years ago. So, yeah.
No, I'm trying to keep it together because I get emotional, and I just want to say thank you because it means like the world to us. I remember Carol coming to me one time. She goes, "Do people actually listen to our podcast?" I said, "You will not believe how many people this has been a game changer for them." It's a lot of work and time that we put in to do this, but I have gotten so many emails and so many thank yous, and this is why we do what we do in the give back. For this alone means so much to me, and you do too, Tanya. So, we love working with you. I love seeing the transformation. I made that same transformation for myself, so I know what's possible, and the best is yet to come. If you're a single guy out there that wants a girl with a good mindset, reach out to me and maybe I'll try to make the connection. Just saying. Sorry, your dad put me up to that. Sorry, Tanya.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, right?
All right. Well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy life.
Great pleasure.
What's the name of your school? How would they find you if they wanted to check out your schools?
Sure. The name of the school at the Pompano location is Cornerstone Preschool, LLC. And our Hollywood location is just Cornerstone Preschool, Hollywood. We are on Instagram by both of those names, Cornerstone Preschool, Hollywood. Yes.
Check them out, and we'd love to give you more followers for sure. And she's a great asset for the business. And if you come to our conferences, be happy to search you out and talk to Tanya. Now that she's a podcast superstar.
Thank you for that.
Thank
you again
Thanks,
for
Tanya.
having me.
We'll see you real soon. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That was a great interview.
Very good. She's so bubbly.
She is bubbly. But I love her mindset change. She's been fantastic. She's just super sweet. And I love how, the podcast found us, which touched my heart a little bit, but she actually did a lot of work on her mindset this year. She reads a lot of books. Some people pay lip service and, say they'll do something. She actually has done it.
Yeah.
And her business is succeeding and she's doing really well. It's been a great year. And we consider her a good friend, and we just love seeing transformational change. And if we can help you in your business and you want to experience what Tanya has experienced, the transformational change in your mindset, in your business, and lead basically out of darkness into the light, because that's exactly what we've done with her and countless of other people. Just go to our website, reach out to me, Brian@childcaregenius.com, BRIAN@childcaregenius.com. And let me know what you're struggling at, and let me know that you need some help, and I'll be happy to reach out and get on a call with you and help you out in that direction. And we'd like to conclude this episode of the Child Care Genius podcast. Thanks again for inviting us into your life and listening to this podcast.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode of the Child Care Genius podcast. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Child Care Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.